But first, comma chameleon. That's the focus of tonight's angle. So changing your hairstyle, your fashion sense, even your opinion on big issues, well, that's called being a human being. But trying to change facts is something quite different. And right now, Kamala Harris's cadre of high-paid consultants and fat cat donors are frantically trying to create an alternative reality, one where Kamala Harris is the candidate that America has been hungering for. Worried about crime? Don't, because Kamala's on it.
So let's just be clear about this. Kamala Harris was a prosecutor. She got elected in San Francisco and fought crime.
Somebody who is, she says, smart on crime, you could argue tough on crime.
Kamala Harris owns the message of being tough on crime.
Oh, really? Because I didn't know you could be tough on crime and anti-police.
Defund the police. The issue behind it is that we need to reimagine how we are creating safety. And when you have many cities that have 1/3 of their entire city budget focused on policing, we know that is not the smart way and the best way or the right way to achieve safety. For too long, the status quo thinking has been you get more safety by putting more cops on the street. Well, that's wrong.
Well, Kamala Harris tries to blend into whatever background she's in. So during the 2020 riots, when it was trendy to be anti-law enforcement, she echoed whatever trite blather other liberals everywhere were posting on social media.
Part of this movement, and it's not just a moment, it's a movement, standing on the shoulders of the movements before. Part of this has to be about changing the system, rehauling the system, upending the system. This whole movement is about rightly saying, we need to take a look at these budgets and figure out whether it reflects the right priorities.
Now, it's funny how you don't hear Harris talk about that movement much anymore. Because last time I checked, various BLM groups were being investigated for waste, fraud, and abuse of the tens of millions in funds that they raked in. In Atlanta, Kamala might not be aware of this, but one activist was already found guilty of funding his lavish lifestyle with donor money, and it wasn't just one chapter. Following the murder of George Floyd in 2020, supporters donated a staggering $90 million to Black Lives Matter. The nonprofit ended the last fiscal year with a $9 million deficit. But that's okay. Those are just inconvenient facts that Kamala Harris and her liberal ilk prefer not to dwell on. But we're not going to let them sweep them under the rug, because by giving BLM status, by giving them credibility, elected officials like Kamala Harris did enormous harm to law enforcement and also to our own public safety. Comma Chameleon tries to play the tough gal, though, now. But in June 2020, bandwagon by helping raise money for a group that posts bail not just for protesters, but for rapists and murderers as well. But does this scene look like a peaceful protest? By the way, the group is still taking in donations. Thanks, Kamala. But even with her prosecutor pass, Kamala was hard left on the crime issue long before the Summer of Love. Any policies that put criminals back out on the street faster, she was for them.
I've been a leader in the United States Senate on what we need to do to get rid of the cash bail system in America. And why? Because I know the system from the inside. This, for me, is not only about criminal justice, it's about economic justice.
Wait, economic justice? Well, that's just liberal jargon for higher taxes. Harris's policies and the anti-police sentiment that she helped fuel has led to dangerous police recruitment shortfalls as well. And in the cities, by the way, where people really need policing the most, including in her hometown of San Francisco. And the shortfall seems to have even reached the ranks of the U.S. Park Police. The head of the Fraternal Order of Police told us at the Ingraham Angle that the reason that so few arrests happened at the anti-Israel protests on Wednesday was because they only had 29 officers assigned to monitor tens of thousands in the nasty mob. So, of course, vandals, they had free rein. When we asked why they didn't arrest more people, we were told, quote, "We physically couldn't. We were getting our asses handed to us." They were defacing government property with pro-Hamas threats in broad daylight. Just, you know, what, a couple hundred yards, 300 yards maybe from the Capitol? Now, why'd they do it so brazenly? Because they knew there would be no consequences. That's why. And by the way, Kamala Harris's late to the game statement that was released long after the anti-American property damage was done, that was just political butt covering, nothing more. Look, every story the media is promoting about Harris right now until election night is untrue. She's not a visionary leader. She's not a brilliant politician. She's not a tough former prosecutor. She's a left-wing hack. And no wonder Bernie Sanders said he's going to do everything he can to help her win, because they agree on pretty much everything. Now, by all means, if you want more crime, vote for Kamala. But I think most Americans think we have too much crime already. And while Karma Chameleon was a hit for the Culture Club in the 80s, my guess is that Comma Chameleon will fall off the charts in 2024. And that's The Angle.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.